Hey everybody, it's Dooley1999 here in another instructional video. This video is going to be pretty simple, pretty short, but it's going to be about how to use the new gun directors since the most recent changes to gun directors, as well as how to use ship-mounted torpedoes, because those are kind of a feature we have. They're not fully developed like planned in the future. You know, the tubes don't rotate, right? Like destroyers and stuff, their torpedo tubes could rotate. Currently in game they don't do that, but this is just how to use them as they are now, as well as the changes for gun directors, as well as the AA. We'll go ahead and do the new Flak changes too. But basically, we're going to be using that Atlantis over there as our test target. And let's start with the torpedoes first. So, to use the torpedoes, the new deck-mounted torpedoes, they're pretty cool actually. This is my tube. You can see that it doesn't really, it doesn't rotate, nothing fancy right now. It's just decorative for the most part. But to fire a torpedo tube, just in the straight direction, you shift left click on the torpedo. Let me go into survival so I don't break anything. And you'll see the torpedo go into the water and do its thing. It's gonna go perfectly straight because we shift left clicked on it. Now let's say you want to make a torpedo go right. I'm not gonna hit that Atlantis because we need that for the guns later as a target. But say there was something off to the diagonal right over there that we wanted to hit with torpedoes. You kind of wanna shift right click looking at the torpedo, but instead of doing it from directly behind it, do it in the direction you kind of want the torpedo to go. So if you want it to go right, kind of look at the torpedo as if you were looking through it, and you're going to shift right click it. And the torpedo is going to go at an angle. This is done because it requires quite a lot of skill and finesse if you're trying to get a good diagonal long-range shot. It's not going to be easy to use torpedoes on ships, and that's because torpedoes do a lot of damage, and they just do a ton of damage compared to most cannons anyways, so it's kind of got to be that way for balance. But in the future, when they rotate, rather than having to make a torpedo do a complete U-turn like you can make it do some pretty sharp angles here. The tube can just rotate and make it a little bit easier for you. But that's how they work right now if you just want to use torpedoes that way. You can see, look at that thing, it's actually going behind us. But yeah, you can get some pretty intense angles on torpedoes. But let's go ahead and move to the Flak directors, or the AA director changes. Where do I have my sign for these bad boys? I think it's up here. Gun Director 3. Sure enough. So, I'm going to take the spotlight off of my head, just for now, to help out. I'm going to go ahead and do ship BS to get people on my guns. There's zombies right now because of the Halloween spooky season. But we're going to shift right click and switch to the Flak round setting. Now we're going to shoot to the right. And let's say there's a plane coming in, they're coming in, whatever. You just scroll up to adjust the fuse in chat with the blaze rod. So if you want a 2-second fuse, you shoot into the air, and the fuse for the explosion is 2 seconds long. As the target gets closer, you can lower this fuse setting to match it a little bit easier with the plane that's coming in. That's a 1-second fuse, and then I believe the lowest you can do right now is a 0.5. So that's how you use the Flak, the new Flak setting. Pretty cool how it works now. So, go ahead and straighten these guns out. Okay, hop off the AA director, and let me show you what the new gun director changes are. So you come up to a gun director for your main battery, and just you right click to turn. And that's a pretty far target right there. You can see it's pretty far out. It takes some skill to hit a target like that. Now it doesn't take quite as much skill. These changes are probably, there's going to be more error in the rounds in the future, you know, like dispersion and stuff. There's going to be more of that coming in the future, but for now, it's like precise, like crazy, like Olympian archer accuracy. So, but I'll show you how. So you look at a target and you'll notice on the right there, the range finder is telling me it's at 210 meters. 210, 208. So what this means is that if you look up in the sky, you see that elevation? Tells you the estimated range. So, let's go ahead and put this baby right at 210. 212 is probably pretty good. And there's a hit. So, this is the new way to use the rangefinder. Again, it's a little preliminary. It's gonna change a little more just for balancing. But for now, it's dummy accurate. Let's go ahead and switch to an HE round so you can see more damage. 210. So yeah, you can see it's pretty lethal if you can get pretty good at and quick using these. There is still, you know, shooting a ship that's still, we split it in half, shooting a ship that's still at range 2 is also a lot easier than at range, because the range isn't constantly adjusting like it would be if these ships were moving. But yeah, that's, those are torpedoes and AA directors, and I don't think these 20s have a flak setting. Let's see. Yeah, they don't. Okay. That's what I thought. But everything up to, I think, 6-inch has a flak setting. So yeah, any of the smaller guns do have flak settings. So for a destroyer, your main battery and your second battery is able to be flak guns. But yeah, anyways, that's how the new gun directors work, and that's how all the new changes with torpedoes and stuff. I know it's a little late. These updates have been in the game for a while, but I hadn't made a video on how to actually use them until now. So yeah, I hope to see you guys in a future video, and please subscribe to the channel for more content. I'll try posting more often. But yep, we'll see you guys in the next upload.